What's good with you YouTube fam? TheCaliEffect, king of games here. For the people that wanted to see a Yu-Gi-Oh video, then click somewhere else, because on Sundays it is getting to know the TheCaliEffect, and this is going to be a different series than what we normally do. What we normally do is the story of the TheCaliEffect. This one's going to be the TheCaliEffect answers your questions. Now, last week, actually on November 26th, I asked a question on my Facebook account. I was like, ask me questions and I'll answer them for Sunday's video, which is now. And it's going to be really interesting to answer some of you guys' questions. Unfortunately, most of them are Yu-Gi-Oh related. I wanted to talk about some other things, but you know, it is what it is. The first thing we're going to talk about is Brian LeBrick. He said, what is the first format you've ever played, or the worst format you've ever played in? The worst format I've ever played in. It's a really tough question because I don't think that there were any really terrible formats, but I have to say, I like literally have to pick the Dragon Ruler format because of the lack of diversity inside of the Dragon Ruler format. Now, granted, you had cards like Vanity's Emptiness running around at 3, you had Maxi running around at 3, but Dragon Rulers were so dominant. It didn't matter what anti-meta strategy you prepared for, Dragon Rulers was just going to sit on it. I think second place would probably have been Teledad, another format with no versatility. Any format where you were forced to play one deck for at least 6 months, in my opinion, it's a pretty bad format. Now, where Dragon Rulers, you did have Slowlocks, which is a deck that I played, but I still didn't like that the Dragon Ruler matchup did have game 2 and 3, and all they had to do was side Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Luke Howie says, what got you into Yu-Gi-Oh in the first place? Did you even collect anything other than Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, thanks for the question, Luke. How we actually explained this in my other, the story of the TheCaliEffect video of how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! So possibly you've missed that one, and you know that video will go more in depth to it. I actually collected Pokemon cards beforehand, and I played Pokemon. I loved Pokemon. Pokemon was my shit. The game, the cards, everything. I actually collected Duel Masters before. I think I was the only person that actually even had Duel Master cards. And I learned how to play the game. The game was relatively simple, but just like the reason why Duel Masters went under is because it was really OP to play. Other things that I've collected, I used to play on marbles. I mean, I'm a 90s kid. That's what happens. And, you know, of course, there's quite a few things that we used to collect, but nothing like, you know, really relevant or stuff that I have to this day. But Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon were definitely my two main choices of games. And that was pretty much it for that question. Thanks for that question. Lawrence A. Lowe, it says, do you feel is the link mechanic has a positive or negative impact on the game? Now, that is a very interesting question. The reason why I say this is because every time a new mechanic comes out, players tend to bitch. Now, I am not a saint in this situation. When the Synchro mechanic came out, first of all, I thought Synchros were fucking terrible, alright? Like, to give up, you guys gotta remember, before the, you know, era of Synchros came out, card advantage was everything. So to give up 2 monsters for another monster was just like unheard of. It was like tribute summoning. The only tribute summoning that was good back then was Monarch. So Synchros just sounded terrible on paper, and I wasn't really pro Synchros. And then they revealed Stardust Dragon, and you know how Stardust Dragon operated, and that kind of changed my entire perspective on new mechanics. To answer your question directly, I think that Lynx is has a mixed thing about the format. I felt that Lynx weren't meant to slow Yu-Gi-Oh down. It was just meant to take Yu-Gi-Oh into a different direction, and at the same time, it makes games longer, which is not something that I really wanted to see. Because if you can make a game longer between both players' turns, it's fucking perfect. But Lynx tends to make a game longer as in one player's turn. So if they find a way to curve that, then Lynx are perfectly fine. I think it did have a positive impact other than that one specific area. Christopher Goldsmith says favorite format, which I mean favorite Yu-Gi-Oh format, not favorite type of time you like to format your hard drives. But my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh format definitely hands down goes to Shadal, BA, Necros, Cleafort. I think that was the best format of all time, because even though I do say Shadal, BA, Necros, Cleafort, Necros did control a stronghold on it, but in Shadows was probably one of the more least represented decks. But Cleafort and Burning Abyss were really awesome decks. So was Ritual Beast, Satellar Knight. There were quite a few awesome decks inside of that format. And just about anything decent could be competitive in that format. It was a really fun format to play. Easily, 2014, 2015 format was definitely one of my favorite formats, just because you had the XE mechanic, the fusion mechanic, the link mechanic, or not the XE, not the link mechanic, the XE mechanic, the fusion mechanic, the picture mechanic, and the ritual mechanic all being tier 1 decks. It was really fun to play. Trevor Zygamoto. Okay. Zygamoto. Alright, we're just going to stop right there. I apologize for butchering your last name. How can you get friends who play before back into the game if they recently quit? Well, first of all, nobody really quits Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember back in my time when I actually thought I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! When I went on to, you know, do other things, not Yu-Gi-Oh! Related. And what I have noticed, not only through going through my own trials and tribulations of quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! But what I've noticed is that when people quit, they're like, oh, I'm gonna quit, but I'm gonna hold on to this deck because it's such so it means a lot to me. That is a surefire way to know that they are not going to quit. There is a 0% chance of them genuinely quitting if they're like, oh, I'm just gonna hold on to this deck. Some way, shape, or form, they're gonna come back into the deck. A couple of people, or come back into the game. A couple of times people quit, and all you have to do is just mention their favorite archetype, get support, because Kamani will do that somewhere down the line, and that'll probably get their interest into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. It's not necessarily trying to sway them into quitting. It's all more about playing the waiting game. Now, there are a couple of players that have legitimately just quit Yu-Gi-Oh! But more often than not, it was mainly because of, you know, family problems or, you know, something in between that. It didn't really have anything to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game itself. It's very far between that players be like, oh, this game fucking sucks, I'm quitting, I'm done, and actually quit. I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen. But for those players, just let them niggas quit, because, I mean, they don't really see the good side in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway, so it's no point in bringing them back into something that they don't see the good side of. John Draw says, if it ain't pro, does it have to go? Yes. Unless it makes me money, it ain't funny. That's exactly my motto. Dakota Anderson says, favorite anime. Well, I have quite a few favorite animes. One of my favorite animes is Death Note. I love Death Note. I think Death Note is one of the best animes ever. I like, you know, I'm having a newfound like for Dragon Ball, because at first Dragon Ball was like one of my most, you know, hated popular animes for the sole reason that it was just really redundant. But when you compare Dragon Ball, the whole Dragon Ball franchise, that includes Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and yes, Dragon Ball GT, as well as Dragon Ball Super. It's not as redundant as you think. I can actually relate to Dragon Ball Z more than I can relate to any other hero or any other superhero other than Static Shock, mainly because Goku actually, you know, he trains for this shit, and it reminds me of when I go to the gym and I train to be a better football player, I train to be more in shape. Goku actually puts in the effort, unlike other superheroes who just so happen to have the magical powers or go through some like really strange thing to get it. Goku actually, you know, he puts in the work. So I really do have a love for Dragon Ball Z. Definitely not my favorite, but Death Note, Fullmetal Alchemist, Case Closed. I really like Case Closed. Yu Yu Hakusho is easily one of the best fucking animes of all time. Seriously, Yu Yu Hakusho was crazy. I wasn't expecting that anime to be that good. The Fate series, Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Fate Unlimited Blade Works. I think one of them was just terrible. I think that's Fate Stay Night, but Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited Blade Works, fucking awesome. I love those. Those round out just about my favorite animes. Oh, and surprisingly, Black Butler. A funny thing about Black Butler is that I did not know that it was a gay anime until, okay, so the second season comes around. I'm not going to try to spoil it too much for you guys. But every time I was watching the first season, like, you know, they would have him like in a dress or something like that on the little cutscenes. And I'm like, fucking weird. You know, I'm not even going to think about that. Then in the second season, the dude, the main character for like the first couple of episodes is weird as shit. And it was just really insurpassable that he, you know, had some gay tendencies. And then it showed the part where he was getting molested. And I was like, oh, well, shit. And I did a little bit more research, and then I found out it was yaoi. So, I mean, I felt that Black Butler was so subtle, it actually got me into the show before it revealed its truest name. And, you know, hey, be gay, do you. I don't give a shit. It was still a really good show. Hayden Styles says, will there ever be any more Toon support? Well, Magical Musketeers, I mean, Magic players ever be top tier about it? Why do you guys, like, ask all these Yu-Gi-Oh questions? You guys can ask almost any fucking question in the world, but you guys ask Yu-Gi-Oh questions. But, you know, I'm still pretty happy with Yu-Gi-Oh questions. Of course there'll be Toon support. Of course there will be more Toon support. That's not, like, I mean, any legacy archetype is always going to receive support. You guys know Pegasus is getting more support. You know, his 1,000 Eyes restrict cards are getting more support. Kaiba's getting more support cards. Yugi will forever get more support cards. Joey seems to be getting the shit end of the stick, but they will get more support cards. Everything that is legacy, cards that you guys grew up, or characters that you guys grew up watching, will always get support. It's just common knowledge, mainly because it keeps us 90 kids into the game, but more importantly, it wills back in those players that say they quit. How strong is too strong? Fabrice Gilliard says, well, too strong is the equivalent of too strong. So, it's pretty fucking strong. It's over 9,000 at least. ODG says, do you love me? Am I still your favorite? Now, that is a very interesting question. And I think, man, do I love you? Don't really sit right with that. Am I still your favorite? I gotta give it to my niece. I gotta give it to my niecey pop. She's my favorite. I'm sorry. She is my favorite. She is adorable. Mariah is my favorite. I'm sorry. She can have whatever she wants. Next, Gary Atkinson says, what archetype would you make if you had 10 cards to create? Oh, shit. Maybe I should have did a little bit of research about this question. And then he says, show Kamani what it's supposed to be like, or look like. Sauce it up. Like you do, Playboy. I like this one. I like this comment a lot. Even though it is a Yu-Gi-Oh comment, I like it a lot. Fuck, man. Now I gotta think of a fucking archetype. Man, this might take a second. And it can't be corny. It gotta be really, it has to be really cool. It has to be really cool. I want the archetype to be like fucking boss, right? And of course we want it to be meta, but we want it to be balanced meta. We don't want it, I mean, if it takes up 50% of the top tables, then I guess it takes up 50% of the top tables, but we don't want it to be no scrub shit, bro. We gotta have it like, you know, bouncy. Fuck, man. I guess it has to be the TheCaliEffect archetype. So basically, it's going to be based on this one guy, and you can use spell and trap cards to power him up. It's not necessarily a, you know, like Noble Knights or whatever, because there's other cards that revolve around him. Now, basically, you're going to have a draw card, you're going to have a search card, you're going to have a destruction card. And the boss monster, we're going to talk more about the boss monster. The boss monster is going to be really good. So when the boss monster is summoned, you get to destroy all cards on the field that is not this boss monster's name, and banish him face down. Banish them face down. As a matter of fact, fuck the destruction. Just banish them face down. Banish all cards on the field face down. All right. When this card declares an attack, you win the game. Sounds about right. Oh, and cards can't be activated in response to this card's activation. So that's how you really do it. No, but in all seriousness, that actually does sound like something for a completely different segment, because I can't think of a single fucking thing. That's a really good question. And I don't think I can have, like, you know, it's just, you know, it's so much complexity into the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. But actually, to be real with you, I think I'd have to make one similar to Old Warriors, kind of like how Fate Zero did that. I think how Fate Zero, you know, had Iskander, you know, Hercules. Nah, yeah, it had Hercules, it had Iskander, who isn't Hercules, but, you know, it's Alexander the Great. It had Saber, who is King Arthur, but is a girl. I think that would be a really, really fun-ass archetype. And then get Deer Mood as one of them. And then all of their card effects revolving around... Oh, fuck, I just made Noble Knights. Well, this version of Noble Knights would be that much better, because those Noble Knights fucking suck ass. David Godinez says, what's your opinion on the new Dragon Ball Super card game? Is it something you're consider playing? Well, to answer the question, yes, I've actually played the new Dragon Ball Super card game. It's pretty fucking fun. Unfortunately, I'm not dropping any money into another card game, so, you know, I would play it if I had, like, all the cards or whatever, or, you know, if I had a community to go to. But unfortunately, in Las Vegas, there isn't really a community that I can join that plays the Dragon Ball Super card game. But yeah, it's fucking fun. My favorite deck that I've seen right now is Cell, because it literally uses Android 17 and Android 18 to make perfect Cell. And Cell's one of my favorite characters. Kevin Murphy says, this guy slaps your ass. What do you do? Well, first of all, I'm going to pray for you, alright? Because it looked like he squat 135 and bench 110. So I'm going to pray for him, because my lady squat and bench more than that. And she ain't going to take kind to anybody not me smacking her ass. So, prayers up for young man. Fidel Rodriguez says, how do you become too strong? Well, first of all, you be the TheCaliEffect. Nah, seriously, you guys can be too strong by not only joining my Patreon game, you know, getting some awesome rewards out of the Patreon community, or, you know, joining my Patreon community, but also, y'all niggas, look, this shit ain't cheap, nigga. I spent a lot of money on this. I gotta make my money back somehow. But also buying cards, selling cards to me, doing all that, that's really too strong, to be honest with you guys. I can't be too strong because I don't do all that shit, but you guys can be too strong by supporting me. I really appreciate it. Soulmaster Hydro says, is Salty Sunday ever coming back? The answer to that is no. I made a Salty Sunday a couple of months ago, and that's when it inspired the story of TheCaliEffect. And actually, I have a whiteboard eraser that has like all of my series. I completely tossed out Salty Sunday because I felt that, first of all, I can make the story of TheCaliEffect funnier than Salty Sunday. Secondly, it's fun. It's more fun to relate my stories to you guys, and we can actually have something to discuss with. So, Salty Sunday is never coming back, unfortunately, and now you guys have confirmation. I did have plans until the story of TheCaliEffect to come out. Javon Turner says, "Why the locks, bruh?"
See you later. Hey there.
Woo! I just got them done. I haven't had them done in like months, but actually still got to get cut up a little bit too, as you guys can see the separation between, like, literally, that's a lot of fucking hair in between. Like, that's just to let you know how to cut the locks. But my locks are a dedication to my family, dedication to my craft, a dedication to myself, and that was actually explained in another one of my stories, the story last week about me not joining the military and such. I think did I make that story last week? No, I think I uploaded a different story. So I actually did explain that in one of my stories that I didn't upload. But it's a dedication to my family. People get locks for a hairstyle. I got locks because, you know, the real reason why people get locks. Joseph LeBay says McDonald's or Burger King. Now, I don't eat from either, but I know you work at McDonald's, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Kevin the Silent Trailer says, will you still online Dev Pro, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro dual request for anyone if you have the time? Yes, I actually do online play people. You guys won't believe what it's from. I feel like I'm like a broken tape recorder. If y'all niggas don't got $1 to donate, which I find it very hard to believe, or y'all just don't like me. When you guys donate $1, and I stream those pirate streams, of course you can do a request. You can play, you know, during those times for the stream. So yes, and literally, I can't even break down how much, you know, how much you're spending a day when you give me $1 a month. It goes a long way, but I don't mean to be that guy, but this shit gotta start somewhere. Stephen Fan says, why do you think you're Antonio Brown? Well, nobody can guard me. I run really good routes. I run really good routes. I wish I had like a video to show you how good my routes are, because I am always open. I can run my lazy routes and dudes be. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so it turns out that we did have some footage. Yep, in the blue, that is me, and watch how this dude is going to get routed. I'm going to take him off his cleats. Look at me all up top. And unfortunately, we have what we would call an incompetent quarterback. Only makes one read. Unfortunately, this is me again. He throws an interception on his play, but as you can see, I mow down my defender and then turn around because I'm wide open. Really good play by my bro to get the, you know, the tackle afterward. You know, preventing the interception from a return. This guy, he's actually playing outside leverage, and I still wind up running the route. Not so great, but still getting that catch in traffic, still being PI'd and pushed out with 2 feet in. So basically, I am a monster on the field. Bruh, I run really good routes, but I only run really good routes when I'm in shape, because it takes, my body is so fucking big, and it takes so much energy for me to move my big ass, fat ass body, that if I don't have the energy, then my routes are just gonna be. Yeah, that's why I don't think I'm Antonio Brown. I'm better than Antonio Brown. I run the best routes in the league. Jamie Deacon says, oh, I know this guy. That's where I know this guy. You're the man. Oh shit, you're my guy. Fuck, that's who you are. Jamie Deacon says, why don't we see enough binder updates? Where's the love in the deck cores? My man, I just noticed who you are. I try to balance my binder updates between regular videos, because I know binder updates isn't something that everybody wants to see. You know what I mean? Like, it isn't like something that's I don't know, but if you guys wanted to see more binder updates, just let me know down below in the description. That's pretty much going to answer every single one of my questions. I'll be doing these, I want to say once a month. We're going to do 3, the story of the TheCaliEffect, and then, you know, binder update, or not a binder update, TheCaliEffect answers your questions. So please get down below into the Facebook or Patreon question section and ask those questions. I really would appreciate it. And if you guys didn't know, Patreon is more than just paying. Like, you guys can go up there and, like, there's some not free articles, but there's some articles that you don't have to pay to watch, and they're going to be really good articles. It's going to be like a Facebook like pages per se. But thank you guys so much. I really hope you guys appreciated me answering you guys' questions. Please like, comment, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy.
Much better.
Team up for special attack.
¿Qué onda?
Victory. Play of the game.